about the Upstream is Wilfried Fogg, who told me there is an evil in the Upstream gate, so you should not stay a long time.
Where you win a slalom race is the exits of the Upstreams or big turns on the course. Really anywhere there's a big turn on the course, your exit from that big turn is where you're going to maximize any sort of opportunity to take time on the rest of the field.
You've always got to work back, I think, look at where you want to go in the first place, so you kind of work back from the downstream of the exit, looking at what line you want to approach that, so how you want to leave the upstream, so that affects what you're doing round the gate and how you want to enter it.
I always would focus, first of all, I would look to the next downstream or the next upstream and find out where that needs to be to get the quickest exit possible.
The time is the acceleration out of the up, and so I think everyone tries to go more like let the boat running, and I think that's very important nowadays.
You should have a really fast exit, because I think that's the most important thing. If you just turn, then I don't think you're fast. I think if you do well on preparation for the upstream gate and then get fast exit, then you don't have to do anything else. I think best thing is to look C1 paddlers, because they really know how to do that.
Upstream game, I concentrate on the stream in the eddy, to use it to be as fast as possible out of the gate. And the most important thing is not to lose the velocity of the boat in the eddy.
Next thing I would look at is the water on the way in and the water in that eddy in particular.
I really like the feeling when the boat flows really nicely, when I don't have to do much work, but when I can time the strokes properly and find a dry line and look a lot for the rhythm and use the energy of the water.
By the upstream gate, I just use I want to use water. Yeah, but now this moment I just think the body rotation, just shoulder out or something like this.
I respect my project, this is the first, and after that I think the best way to make a very fast upstream gate is to create something on the moment, you know. You have to put the base, and after that you have to be a genius.
Yeah. I'm finding more and more, especially with the short boat developments, and they're really easy to paddle and turn, is that you can quite often adjust things at the last moment to suit what you feel is best at the time. If you're an experienced paddler, can read the water well and react well, then you've got this plan in your head, but quite often you do something that's actually better than your plan just by reacting in the moment.
I think I didn't really aim for certain strokes. I'm pretty much focused on the line where I want to go and how to achieve this. I kept this pretty open, because you never know what happens, and sometimes you get pushed to the left, to the right, so you have to be reactive, and I pretty much try to aim for certain spots or to get into a certain position, but how to achieve this was the uncertain factor.
You try on so many different lines and techniques that you have a good sense when you see something set in a race course. What can I do with my skill set that's going to do the best for me?
The timing of the key strokes, whether it's one stroke or two stroke in a kayak, it's the critical timing. There are lots of different ways to cut an upstream these days, and you can compare the times, but good planting of the critical stroke and timing is one of the keys to a good upstream.
It's important to have the balance, also up down and also right left, because I usually paddle more for the balance. The speed is very difficult.
And a big thing for me is specifically I guess a flat boat. I think with a lot of the techniques now, a flat boat is very important, so that's something I really focus on.
When I'm paddling in the upstream, I'm thinking a lot to my balance, to listen to the boat and listen to the balance of my body on the boat. And my point of view is the shoulder. When I have the shoulder flat, my vertical position is good. When my shoulder are a little bit not flat, is mean that my body is not in the center of my boat.
My feeling with learning how to do upstreams is that you want to try on as many types of upstreams as you can. And what I really tried to do for a long time was spend some time with C1s and try and emulate what they're doing, because they only have one blade, and so I found that they can be much more efficient with what they do with an upstream, and I think there's a lot to learn from that. What I also think is a good task to take on in training for upstreams is to set a very simple sequence of down, up, down, but then really vary how tight you are or how straight down on the upstream you are and how wide you can get, and really learn the pacing. So I think you'll find as you get, the tighter you get or the more straight down on an upstream you get, the slower you actually have to approach, and it becomes very difficult in a race setting to be comfortable with slowing the boat down, but you gain so much more in the upstream by having a perfect upstream than you would gain by attacking it. And so those sorts of exercises where you practice and vary the approach angle a lot is where you learn what kind of pacing and how hard you can actually approach an upstream and what return you get from how much speed you have entering.